Alright, I got my box set up here on a piece of scrap plywood. And my auxiliary fence, you've seen me use this before for cutting the excess off of box joints. Because of the way these stick out, that's why it has to be elevated so that it's not resting on the keys, which I'm not. So I'll be able to, what I'm going to do here is, I can show you from this way. I'm going to be running it the other way, but I'll be able to hook my thumb in here and hold it tight against this fence, and then just be pushing down and pushing the scrap block at the same time through the blade. And that'll get me close. And I'll be able to see where I'm at, and then I'll be able to, I'm going to make all the, I'm going to call them macro cuts first. Get it real close on all of them, and then dial it a little bit closer so I don't have so much to remove with sandpaper, or a block plane, I guess, too. Alright, here goes. These keys now are all the same distance away from the edge of the box. I can rest them on the keys. I could even put a piece of 1/4 inch plywood underneath there, maybe to make it a little steadier, I guess, but it seems pretty good to me right there. So I'm going to try it once. Okay, you can see how much closer that is. That is very, very close. These are thin enough I can just pare them off. I don't have to use a block plane. Get a little blowout on that one right there, but I'll have to, when I round those corners a little bit, that'll disappear. This is just fantastic. It's just it just works for me. I mean, I'll give you a little flyover, but these dovetail keys turned out great. Nice and tight. I think that, you know, this is cherry. And I think that once I get some finish on there, that'll darken up a little bit more, but they'll also darken with age. It is just beautiful. Alright, time to install these pins. And I basically finished the box. I got going, and because of all the holes in the wood, finish would bleed through, and so I just ended up putting on a few coats of everything. The top is finished. The box itself needs a little more attention, but I can do that when I get done with installing these pins. I did everything here except I paid attention to keep finish from going down into this hole. So what I'm going to do is make some epoxy. I'm going to drive these pins in, and I don't want to put overfill these holes, so I'm just going to put very little in there and move it around with a small dowel, and then hopefully when I push this in, it doesn't squeeze out too much and I end up with a mess. So that's going to be the $1 million problem, I guess. Alright, here goes. See what happens. Oops, I need this. Alright, some do's and don'ts. Everything I've done up to this point was good, except the epoxy with the pins here. It's caused a little bit of a problem. You can see here, this should not be happening. The lid should be wanting to slam, basically. You can see though, when I put those in, I had to force some epoxy out between the pins into the between the lid and the bushings. so I can feel it. It's almost like there's a rubber gasket in there between the wood and the bronze bushings. So it's very sluggish now when I'm lifting and closing this. It's been probably 6 hours, no, not 6, probably 5 hours since I put that epoxy in. And I've been down here, this is my 3rd trip now, and on my 2nd trip, when I lifted it, it was like something popped, like there was a bond being formed, and it got to a point where it popped. So now it feels very sluggish, and if I work it, I can loosen it up, or feel like I'm loosening it up. It does come down a little bit faster, but I'm going to have to kind of stay on top of this because I do not want this thing to freeze up on me. So if I do it again, I would not put epoxy in there. I wouldn't put anything at all. I'd put the pins in and plug the holes and be done with it. The only other thing that I might do differently if I do build another one, which I think I'm going to, is put bushings in this side as well, so that that pin is not riding on the wood. It's riding inside the bronze bushing. So other than that, I'm very pleased with the way it turned out, with the finish and everything. I still have to do the main sides here, but the top is done. A few coats of shellac, buffed off, and then a couple coats of paste wax, and it does look. This top looks really nice. The other thing I wouldn't have done is fill those holes. But the concept of making this box, I'm very happy with the way that turned out. So the dovetail keys, no need to be afraid to do that again. Use an 80 tooth blade on the miters. This part here, you know, like I said in my earlier video, if you wanted to just sand that, I think that I would probably do that next time as well, rather than go through all that trouble of setting up my shopsmith. That took a long time to figure that out. Other than that, it's nice. The other thing, maybe build this lip into the side rather than adding it on to the lid. Whichever one works for you on that. That's probably 6 of one, half dozen of the other there. But there you have it. Thanks for watching.